A sleepy village in the British countryside is turning into a battleground between fracking giants versus anxious locals and activists. Thousands of protesters have descended on this area where drilling for gas has been halted on advice from the police. Citing America's tragic experiments with fracking, residents fear the worst, saying they're unconvinced by the government's assurances. RT's Tesa Arcilla is there for us.
Well, we're here in Balcombe, but this is the site of where an oil and gas company, Quadrilla, is doing exploratory drilling. You have the police over here trying to stop any possible protesters from getting in. Clearly, fracking is a divisive topic. Over here, you've got residents debating the issue, many of them pointing out to what they see will be the consequences if big companies go in to their neighborhoods, to their area, and the consequences, the impact on climate, on their water. We spoke with one of those residents and talked to her about what her fears are if fracking does indeed happen.
Our ministers, many of whom are industry invested, who are saying that there is no evidence of contamination and that they can regulate this safely and that this has been going on for decades, none of which statements are true, are negligent. They're either willfully lying or they haven't done the research. There is ample evidence of desperate harm that is done, that the seismic activity is triggered, that water is contaminated, and the bottom line is this industry, this technology is an extreme ecocidal technology. It cannot be regulated. Once you mess with the subterranean geology, even the industry's own figures say that all the wells will leak in the end. It is just insane that this is being allowed to go ahead instead of reinvesting in safe, renewable energy technologies that will give us energy security, will give us lasting employment, and won't hurt people.
It's quiet right now because they've stopped operations, having taken the advice of the police that more protesters will be coming to this area. And right over there, this is quite a common site around here where residents gather to argue fracking or to discuss with police when police officers come over to where they are camped out.
This is 750 metres away from my parents' home. Yeah. If there's impacts, it will affect them. What are you going to do if there's a blowout? What's your evacuation plan for the village?
The UK government is looking to the example in North America, in the United States, where they say that the energy market has changed, bills have been lowered, and this has increased self-sufficiency. David Cameron has said that this will also increase jobs as well as lower bills, but clearly the residents here who are here camping out are saying that the positives do not quite outweigh the negatives that they think fracking will bring to them. Reporting from Balcombe, I'm Tesa Arcilla.
Now, many people are in the dark over fracking, and given the confusing nature of how it works, that's no surprise. Here's a simple explanation. First off, oil companies drill down to shale rock formations a kilometer or even more underground. Then they drill horizontally through it. Once that's been done, engineers lower explosives into the hole and set them off to riddle it with cracks. Those cracks are then pumped full of pressurized water and a toxic cocktail of chemicals that tears matter apart, isolating the gas and oil from the shale before extraction. Now, what's the catch, you might ask? Well, remember all those toxic chemicals that they pumped in? Those can float right back up, straight into your drinking water, your lakes, your rivers. What's worse, fracking results in a tremendous amount of waste, including radioactive water, which then has to be dumped somewhere. The toxic drill fluids also contaminate the ground, slowly spreading through the earth near the drill site. And to top that off, a tremendous amount of highly potent greenhouse gases are released during the entire process, dwarfing the environmental impact of conventional oil and gas exploration. So those are the dangers, but why isn't the government worried as much as others? Andy Chiba, MEP candidate for the UK's Green Party, believes it's because London is fully vested with big business.
The links between our current government and the fossil fuel industries are there for all to see, and therefore, there's got to be strong suspicions of vested interests there at work. It's no big surprise until we get a massive change of government in this country. The priorities aren't going to change. They're going to be looking after their buddies in these big companies. The campaign at the moment is focused on Balcombe, and that's going to be the same across a lot of these Tory heartland areas that are threatened by this industry. And that's before the whole country starts to realise just how corrupt this government really is. And I think people are just seeing through the thin tissue of lies and the connections with these big industries, and it's becoming clearer and clearer by the day. And I think this government is headed, hopefully, for one hell of a bloody nose come the next election.